I spent 10 years trying to figure out what was going on with me. When the doctor came in and told me that she thought I had endometriosis, I actually started crying. I wasn't crying because of the diagnosis. I was crying because I finally had an answer.